McAllister.
Oh, Matt McAllister, your friend. Yeah. For women, it's Sophia.
Ooh.
Any last name? Sophia? Sophie?
Vergara.
You're fine. Julian?
Love.
Okay. Zoe?
Deschanel.
William?
Wallace.
Everly?
Brothers.
Fine. Will you accept that? Will the judges accept that?
I don't know who that is.
We will accept that.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Leo?
DiCaprio.
Riley?
Lincoln.
These are the most beautiful sounding names. Theo?
Theo Huxtable.
Oh.
So sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry, my bad.
Isaac?
Newton.
Samuel?
L. Jackson.
And Emily?
Blunt.
You know,
No.
Yeah, those are apparently the most beautiful sounding names that are in the United States.
Huh.
Better than Wooly?
Wooly?
Yeah. Jethro?
Tull?
Melbourne?
Australia?
Penis? Penis.
What?
I looked up Amish names.
Oh, okay.
Abishag.
That's Venice, isn't it?
Okay. Well, oh, yeah, you're right. Hang on. Sorry, let me correct that. Imagine being that poor kid.
No.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
At Aquila.
Aquila.
Just some, and then they give you the name of the best names in the UK. They're very similar. Charlie's in there. Charlie's not in the first one. William and Freddie and George and Ali, Daniel and Riley are all there on the beautiful sounding names when it comes to girls in the UK. Another interesting sort of study of names. They've done this at cocktail party tests. Have you ever seen this before? That in a cocktail party, they've done this test where they have 25 people in the party. Everybody's talking, and they have one person say your name. And they wait till you're as far away from the person saying the name as possible. Then they add another 10 people, and they keep adding more and more people. So there's 100 people in a cocktail party. Everybody's talking. The volume's very, very loud. But you can still hear your name said from someone somewhere in the room.
Huh.
It is the craziest thing. And it is the most wonderful sounding thing that you have is the sound of your own name. In fact, you love your name so much that if somebody were coming in to apply for a job, they're more likely to get the job if they have the same first name as you.
I learned that
is wild. Plus, then it also goes same initials as you.
Yeah, and then birthday, that was another one.
That was the other one that you had this weird connection between the two. So
Interesting.
Very nice. There you go. All right. Well, there we are. Everybody learned something today? That was a stupid story,
Yeah,
Joe.
I'm not
We
sure.
put that down under the dumb story. And we're going to
nailed it.
give you credit for that.
Okay.
You're all right. You seem a little tired. You okay?
No, I don't know.
You're frustrated.
That's a good question.
Joe said, here's the thing for everybody out there on the John Curley Show. If anybody listening after that last segment, Joe thinks that there is this weird energy going on right now in the world that like a tinderbox kind of thing, and that
Powder keggy.
Keggy. That was not on the list of names. It's very similar. Do you remember right after 9/11, there were no planes flying, and then after I think about 2 weeks or a week or something, then a plane flew by. And remember the sound of that plane going by, right? We were highly attuned, right? We had confirmation bias that something was different in the plane. Is that plane carrying terrorists? Is that plane going to crash into something? Because the skies were quiet for so long, and then the first plane flew by. It took a long time for people to sort of return back. But Joe has this sort of barometric pressure that's going on, building up inside him somehow. He thinks things are very, very tenuous at best right now.
But you said you feel the same way.
I know, but I'm just trying to blame you to give myself an out in case something bad doesn't happen.
Joe's cool.
Oh,
he
thanks.
wears cool stuff.
Appreciate that, Sherry.
Okay, Sherry. You know, Sherry, she's still hosting the show, but she says very little things. Have you noticed that?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, she hardly ever say anything. They paying her by the word, I think. All right, let's go to Nate over there. He's checking traffic for us, Nathan.
Yipper, got a new collision north 5 at Lake City Way. It's blocking the right lane and the off-ramp. You cannot exit to Lake City Way right now on north 5. Seattle to Everett's a 50-minute trip. South 5 jams up at Ravenna Boulevard in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle, a half hour. Got more backups to Linwood to get through. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, 15 minutes on 520. We're at 20 minutes on I-90. I-90, so not too bad. It's eastbound 90 that is packed from the west end of the lake across Mercer Island because of road work on the island. Seattle to Bellevue is going to take you a half hour. You're wide open on eastbound 520. North 5 heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown, and both directions of I-5 are packed this afternoon between State Route 18 into Fife. Tacoma to Federal Way has about a 10-minute delay. Federal Way to Tacoma is right on par at about 15 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
A Chi and Ursula exclusive on KIRO News Radio.
There it is, number 60, Cal Raleigh.
A guy did catch it. He gave it to this young boy in the stands. And we are joined by that boy's father, Galen Ruelos.
He caught it. He didn't have to do it. It was a complete random act of kindness to my son. You know, he's a 12-year-old, 6th grader, and just overcome with emotion. He starts bawling.
Hear the full conversation on the KIRO News Radio app and KIRO News Radio on YouTube.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com for the news you trust.
Breaking news, we are getting...
Experience matters.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, Ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Amazon, or at newnordicusa.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Heading toward a shutdown deadline.
Ladies and gentlemen, there isn't anything here to negotiate.
U.S. military overhaul.
The era of the Department of Defense is over.
Pending FBI cuts.
Purge inside the law enforcement agency.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. Senate fails to pass a Democratic continuing resolution as a midnight government shutdown deadline looms. A vote on the Republican CR is underway. They disagree on how to keep the government funded. President Trump insisting.
Well, the Democrats want to shut it down. So when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs. So we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected. And the Democrats, they're going to be Democrats.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Democrats do not want a shutdown. We stand ready to work with Republicans to find a bipartisan compromise, and the ball's in their court.
The GOP wants to extend current funding levels. Democrats want to extend expiring health insurance subsidies. CBS's Allison Keyes.
Some federal workers gathered on Capitol Hill bracing for mass layoffs and programs that don't align with the president's priorities. Jamie Billard's husband is in the Coast Guard, and like tens of thousands of others in that service, won't be paid during a shutdown.
It's another plate that you have to keep spinning.
Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tell a gathering of hundreds of generals they're taking political correctness out of the military.
President Trump vowed to reawaken the military's warrior spirit, beginning with the deployments in American cities.
We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
He said Chicago is next. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced military promotions will no longer be based on race or gender, and new combat fitness tests will include male standards.
The era of politically correct, overly sensitive, don't hurt anyone's feelings leadership ends right now.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Susan Schnall of the nonprofit Veterans for Peace says of using U.S. cities as military training grounds.
It is another move towards total authoritarianism and a fascist dictatorship.
Sources tell CBS News hundreds of FBI employees will be separated from the Bureau at midnight. CBS's Scott McFarland says many agents left after DOJ's fork in the road offer.
Hundreds of FBI employees took the fork that means no longer working for the federal government, and their last day on the job, those who are still on the job, is today. That's in addition to nearly 24 firings of FBI agents in recent weeks.
Pfizer agrees to offer significantly discounted prices for some prescription drugs for all U.S. consumers, and the drugs can be available on a government website to be called Trump RX. The Dow finishes at a record today. Now this.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Coming up, a school bus driver strike looming in Everett. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, we've got a big collision North 5 at Lake City Way. It's blocking your right lane and the off-ramp. You cannot exit to Lake City Way from North 5. Traffic is backed up to 520. Seattle to Everett at 55 minutes. We're closing in at an hour real quick here, and you've got more slowing ahead of you between Northgate through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes. You got a solid backup between Kirkland and Canyon Park. Everett to Marysville, 25 minutes. You've got backup starting just north of the Boeing Freeway up to 529. It gets real thick at the Snohomish River. Linwood to Seattle, plan on a half hour. We're slow in Linwood. At 212th, you'll clear out all the way to get into the U District. North 5 heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. Eastbound 90 packed from the Mount Baker Tunnel across Mercer Island where we have road work. Seattle to Bellevue at 35 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway right now is a 45-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. School bus drivers in Everett say they are ready to walk off the job if they do not get a new contract. KIRO 7 TV's Renji Sinha spoke with members of their Teamsters Union.
They say a strike is a possibility because negotiations with their employer, Durham School Services, have broken down, and the company walked away from bargaining.
If we don't have something that we can take back to our members and get this thing done, it's imminent.
There is no reference on the Everett School site to a potential strike impacting bus service. The drivers say they want compensation and benefits that align with what other districts are giving drivers.
New details about the driver who damaged the 167 bridge near Pacific last week. KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan reports.
The official police report says the 70-year-old truck driver was cited for negligent driving in the second degree and given a $564 ticket. Pacific Police reports the driver was behind the wheel of a large dump truck when it hit the bridge. The driver had just delivered a load but drove off with the truck bed in the up position. The driver told police he didn't realize that the bed was stuck. It's expected that 2 of the 3 lanes of northbound 167 will remain closed for months as WashDOT makes repairs. Chris Sullivan, KIRO News Radio.
Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders is sounding the alarm over looming budget cuts. Sanders says his office is facing $4.5 million in cuts.
It would signify the largest setback for law enforcement and public safety in the history of this county.
Says he would have to slash at least 30 deputies and close part of the jail. An explosive discovery by a 3-year-old in Grant County. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports that boy found a live grenade in his family's front yard.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the child was playing in the family's front yard in the town of Harline when he found, picked up, and carried the grenade into the family's home. Grant County Sheriff spokesman Kyle Foreman says
unexploded ordnance like that is a problem. An unexploded device, certainly due to its age, made it more unstable.
The Washington State Patrol Bomb Squad carefully moved the grenade to a rural area and safely disposed of it. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And your weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing clouds tonight. We have rain on the way as well, approaching in a couple of hours. And right now, 70 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hey, here we go with the John Curley Show. Let's meet one of our listeners now.
I would describe myself as a clamshell. I'm kind of closed off at first. Don't worry. Once you get me open, there's a pearl inside. I am looking for real, true love and somebody who is unconditionally mine and doesn't talk to a lot of other girls on the phone at night. I also love being on boats. If you have a sailboat, I'm going to marry you. If you have a sailor's mouth, though, watch it. I can't take you home to my mother. She's religious. I want children, yes. I love taking care of animals, so I think I will love taking care of kids. I don't believe in love at first sight, so if I see you and I feel a spark and we hit it off right away, I think that we need to get to know each other better.
Wow. A lot of contradictions, but again, if you open her up, she's got a pearl inside her.
You got a sailboat.
I'm married.
That's right.
I'm married, but that's one of our listeners right there. By the way, we'll start the show with all of our listeners. They're not always just looking for love, just telling us about themselves. We ask them, just answer a few questions and, what are you looking for? Because it always sort of gives you a better understanding of the individual and you find out who do they love and what would they love.
That's right.
No one has ever mentioned this show yet.
No.
Weird. Diving into the news with John Curley Show. All right, what do you want to start with? Let's see, the Pete Hegseth at the Department of War. It used to be the Department of War. Then it became the Department of Defense. And they said, because I think it was 47, 50, somewhere in there, they switched it around. They said, we're not all about war. We're about, spreading peace all over the place.
I like that.
What?
Spreading peace.
You know what? It's war. You're in the business of war. You're not going out there. You go out, you get a gun. You're not out there to spread peace. You're out there to make sure the other guy doesn't fire back at you. I like Department of War.
All right.
How about Department of Love? Wouldn't we all be better off with the Department of Love?
I'd be into that.
Oh, would you, man? Okay, get out of the hockey sock, all right? Yeah, that's cool, dude. All right, man. Let's go. Department of Love. Yeah, man. Where do I sign up for that? All right, so the president, that's President Trump. I know that really bothers a lot of people when I say that. Here he is. So Pete Hegseth starts out the meeting. U.S. generals, admirals are there. They didn't know why they were being called to this thing. And they came from all over the country, all over the world to show up. Like, what is this going to be all about? I don't know, but Pete's going to be there.
This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that.
Hoo-ah! Yeah, dropping a little S-bomb in there. By the way, if you're a fat general.
So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the Joint Force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year.
So don't get shorter.
Yeah.
Every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our Joint Force is required to do PT every duty day.
Every duty day. All right. When it comes to physical training requirements, everybody, here it comes.
So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger.
So we already have that one already?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next one. When it comes to, he says they're not trying to remove women from combat. It's just about results.
This, and I want to be very clear about this, this is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral.
Yeah, they lowered them in 2022. They lowered them down there when it came to push-ups, deadlift, planking, miles. They had 2 levels, one for the guys, one for the gals, and that's gone.
If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. That is not the intent, but it could be the result, so be it. It will also mean that weak men won't qualify because we're not playing games. This is combat. This is life or death.
The problem they have is that the majority of guys that do apply to join the military, they're too fat, and they're also too dumb. The rejection level is so high of the people that were applying a couple of years ago, they had to just kick a lot of them out. My neighbor off on Book Lane was a recruiter, and he said, yeah, it was really bad because he'd been doing it for a long time. He goes, they got fatter and dumber. We just had to keep just saying, nope, lose some weight, come back, lose some weight, come back. So maybe they've noticed that the numbers have started to come up. So maybe this will attract fit young men and women that, can, have a couple of brain cells they can rub together and join the military. For people that really go to college now, for them, they don't want to do that. It's a great avenue.
Sure.
You do learn a lot. And then the president stepped up.
What they've done to San Francisco.
What's he bringing these guys up? He took the stage to say that America's over. I see. There's a war within America.
Chicago, New York, Los Angeles.
Okay. $5 to anybody. Will he mention Seattle? Yes or no? I haven't heard this before. We got 56 seconds left.
The answer is no.
You say Nate says no.
I say
Seattle
yes.
does not get mentioned. Will Portland get mentioned?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes. Nate says yes on Portland. Andrew says no on Seattle. Yes on Portland. Joe, you're holding back.
I can't play.
You already played. Here
I
we
said
go.
yes. No, I said yes on Seattle.
You said yes on Seattle.
Yeah.
Ready?
And
Here we go.
Portland.
We're looking for 2 Seattles.
They're very unsafe places.
Wait, I'll back up.
Los Angeles. They're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these people in. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Grover Cleveland, George Bush, and others all
Is he laying down in a bed while he's saying this? He sounds
very mumbly.
Yeah.
use the armed forces to keep domestic order and peace. Many of our leaders used the military to keep peace. Now they like to say, you're not allowed to use the military. And you know what the people say? The people in those cities where they're being raped and shot and beat up, you know what they say? We love the military. You ever see where they interview the people on the street? I've never seen somebody say they don't unless they're radical and paid off, because a lot of these insurrectionists are paid by, whether it's Soros or other people.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, both of you guys got wrong. I probably would have guessed Seattle or Portland would have been in there.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least
The test is not as difficult as one would think. Having to do like a mile and a half or a 2 mile run plus number of push-ups. Deadlift, you have to do a couple of pull-ups as well. You got to plank for a certain amount of time. I watched a woman 6 months ago in New York City. She worked for the TV station there. She was able to complete the thing. She did pretty well. She got all the scores she needed to get.
You know what'll kill you is those darned burpees.
Thanks, Nate. All right. Let's see. Oh, the government shutdown when it comes to that. So here's what's happening with that one. The Republicans have passed a clean out of the House. So what that meant is they said, listen, we're going to send this thing forward. It's a CR, continuing resolution. Just vote for the thing. It's going to give us enough. We're going to fiscally continue to, irresponsibly spend for the rest of fiscal year. So it goes to the Senate, and Chuck Schumer's like, whoa, not so fast with this right here. He needs about 7 Democrats to be able to get this thing to pass. But Chuck has got it tied up because what he's trying to do is what he really wants to do. It's not really about healthcare. They're just using sort of healthcare as, they know it'll get a lot of attention because healthcare is a big thing when people hear, oh, they're taking away the healthcare. Really, it's about standing up to Donald Trump because right now the party is so broken that you got to, hey, we need to put a stake in the ground. We need to plant the flag right here, and we need to show Donald Trump that he can't just run right over us. So what they've decided to do is they want to be able to say, nope, we're not going to take this. No way we're going to take this. Go ahead. You're going to shut them down. And what they're hoping for, Schumer's hoping for, is that the media, as you have heard, is going along with the idea it's the Republicans' fault that the thing's coming down. And what they're hoping for, again, is, okay, so the Republicans will get blamed, and then that'll help us when it comes time for the next election because right now we're in a lot of trouble. I think Schumer thinks that the people have enough memory of this sort of thing. The government has been shut down before. It opens back up again. The media makes a big deal about it. But in this case, it's not really about the health care. But they're saying it is because that's the thing gets all the attention. Again, you'll hear the media say, oh, people are losing their health care. Here's what happened. During the COVID lockdown, Biden extended the Obamacare subsidies. They got rid of the caps when it came to income. So it used to be a certain percentage of income, you could get COVID money or you could get health care money. Well, what he did is he got rid of that entirely. A household making $500,000 could get all sorts of extra bennies. Well, now they want to claw all that back and return it back to where it was before the COVID lockdown. And the Democrats are like, no, let's just keep doing this. Really? You want to keep spending money that we don't have, which is going to cost Americans about $450 billion over 10 years? The Republicans are saying, no, COVID was this emergency. We sent all this money out. Now we're going to pull it all back, and everybody's not going to get all the money anymore. So just return back to where we were before we decided we would panic during the pandemic. And the Democrats are like, no, let's keep the money flowing. So they're using healthcare as the cudgel to show that really they're going to be able to fight Donald Trump. When this thing's going to cave, they're going to move out on it pretty quickly because the other part of the story, if it's of any interest to anybody, once they close it down, Donald Trump has already sent a letter who's in labor, industrial something or other. This guy's got this letter, and it basically says, if you shut down the government, we are going to have mass layoffs. We're just going to just wipe out entire sections, different departments. We're going to be reducing by 10 or 15%. So once you shut it down, these people are never coming back again. Well, the Democrats realize, oh my God, these people are in the union. They vote for us. We can't have that. So it's sort of a hostage situation. This thing is going to just get a little bit of a spark, and then it's going to just sort of go away right after that. Got it? Any questions?
You think it passes?
Yeah, they'll go back and forth. They'll sort of fight on the thing, and they'll make a big deal, and the media will do a whole thing about they'll go interview somebody who's going to lose their health care. Here's a really interesting thing. So when employers are offering health care benefits, so according to Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of employers now offering medical benefits, it was 71% in 2019. It's up to 74%. So you get a job and your employer's like, hey, we can offer you dental and medical. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars a month, but we're going to be able to cover you. People are like, well, that's pretty good. Well, guess what? Guess what, kids? Workers don't take advantage of it. In fact, workers are like, yeah, I'm not going to take advantage of that. I'm going to continue. I'm going to get Obamacare because they think they're going to get a better deal with Obamacare. And in most cases they do because they don't have to pay the premiums. They get a better break on the thing. So even though the employer offers it to them, they don't take advantage of it. Workers taking advantage of his fall from 74% down to 65%. They're like, no, I'll get something cheaper. I'll just go in and get the government program.
So you can qualify for Obamacare even if your employer offers you?
Here's the little weird thing that was written into Obamacare. If it's adequate, if what the employer offers you is adequate or equal to what's offered in Obamacare, well, there's so much extra garbage laid into the Obamacare thing that if the individual can say, oh, no, my employer doesn't offer me this, this, and this. Obamacare has that for me, so I'm going to go over there. What they're trying to do is get everybody into a single payer program so they can get rid of private insurance so the government can control, who gets what Medicare and medical, help. We go to what Canada does. We go to what the UK does. Then you're really in trouble. Really in trouble. And people that are big supporters of single payer. Are you kidding me? Show me where it works. There's a challenge to anybody out there. 1-888-973-5476.
So what does single payer actually mean?
Single payer means that the government pays for everything. There's no more insurance,
no
nothing.
Private health
No private. They get rid of private health. They're trying to do it here in the state of Washington, get rid of private health care by simply taxing and then having all the bennies for everybody. So if you're an illegal immigrant, there's about $150 million that's coming out of our pockets. Welcome to America. I'm glad you could sneak in. We will pay for your medical here in the state of Washington. That's part of the taxes that's going to be going up tomorrow. No, it's so single payer is the government controls all of it, and the only way you control price is by rationing care. That's the only way to do it. What do you get? What does this person get? How much money we spend on this person? How much you spend on that person? And you're going to see less and less doctors get into the business. You'll see less services. And the only way you can control the cost is by rationing care. That's why there's long waits in line in Canada. That's why people in Canada say, thank God for America. I can come across the border and get something done. I don't have to wait around for the cancer to continue to spread or a heart disease or something because I can go somewhere else. But single payer controls all of it. That's the problem they have in the UK. That's the problem they have in Canada. And again, anybody that believes it works, just show me where it does, and I'll eat my words. In fact, I'll eat my hat.
Ooh.
As long as
Socialism failing to work as it always does. You talk about giving everybody something free, and all of a sudden,
like free health care.
There's no food to eat. Hello. Anyway, 0-2.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
all right. Any other questions on any of that? Do I have anything else on this?
I think you got
it all. It's all
boy.
Good. All right. How about both of you? I thought for sure he's going to throw Portland and Seattle in there.
He sounded very sleepy.
Yeah. That guy goes and goes and goes. He's texting and tweeting stuff out at 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock. I don't know when he sleeps. It's pretty wild. All right, let's go to Nate. I don't know when Nate sleeps either. He's always thinking about traffic. Here comes Nate now.
Yes,
Nathan?
I am. Shoreline, North 5 at 175th got a collision in the HOV lane. This adds to our collision at Lake City Way. Seattle to Everett now, an hour, 10-minute commute. We are making progress at Lake City Way, though. The off-ramp has reopened. But there's a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at the Convention Center. After Lake City Way, you're going to clear out through Northgate before you enter another thick backup starting at 130th. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes, solid between Kirkland and Bothell. Linwood to Seattle, still a half-hour commute. We're slow in Linwood and then packed at Lake City Way now down to I-90. North 5, bumper-to-bumper from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. This backup is almost connecting to that North Seattle backup. Eastbound 90 now heavy from Rainier Avenue across the lake, across Mercer Island due to road work. Seattle to Bellevue has gone up to 40 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia is going to take you 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'm telling you, I know what it's like. You watch the hair begin to thin, the crown disappears, and that hair loss just sort of, it feels like it's robbing you of your identity. That's how I felt. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair has got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair, and they can do the exact same thing for you. Because as you're looking in the mirror, and maybe you shower and you go to comb your hair, you'll say, well, that didn't take that much time. That's right, because your hair keeps falling out. So you have a couple of decisions to make. Okay, going bald? Well, good for you. If you want your hair back, that's so simple. All you got to do is set up a free consultation. Get $250 off, 250 free hair grafts. Just give them a call at 425-449-8185. You don't want to wait. You see your own natural hair. is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year. That's second time in a row. So check them out online, advancedhair.com. You'll see the before and after pictures. That could be you. And your call now at 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills, backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. If you own firearms, it's your responsibility to make sure they're always stored safely. Hiding them in a closet or drawer is not enough. Kids know where they are. Research shows the risk of injury and death is lower if guns are stored unloaded and locked up, with the ammunition locked in a separate place. This is important when children are young, as well as when they grow into teenagers. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you. Because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
When the weather changes, your home shouldn't be the one left unprepared. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. We offer the strongest solutions in roofing, siding, decking, windows, and gutters, made for the Pacific Northwest. And right now, get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months or up to $3,000 off your next project. No gimmicks, no stress, just reliability you can count on. Visit stateroofing.com or call 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule your free estimate today.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A possible government shutdown is now just hours away. The Senate already struck down a Democrats' plan to avert a shutdown. President Trump in the Oval Office earlier today.
A lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things.
The Senate now voting on a short-term spending bill proposed by Republicans. It does not include an extension of Obamacare subsidies. Democrats say that's a non-starter. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns is following the vote.
You may think, well, don't Republicans control the House and the Senate? That's true. They do. But on the Senate side, they still need a handful of Democrats to come over and support this measure because they need 60 votes, and they don't have 60 votes yet.
If no deal is reached, the government closes at midnight Eastern Time. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declares an end to political correctness in the military.
The only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting, preparing for war and preparing to win.
He was speaking to generals and admirals. President Trump also addressed the crowd.
We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
Now, President Trump has ordered National Guard members to Portland to protect federal property there. And we are now seeing some of the text messages that led up to that decision, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
In one text, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek writes, "I just received your notice to mobilize the Oregon National Guard outside of my control. I believe this is unlawful and unwarranted. You broke your promise to speak with me before taking further action against Portland." Now, according to the Oregonian, which obtained these texts through a public records request, President Trump's assistant, Natalie Harp, writes back, quoting the president, "If you get your state in order, we don't come in. But everyone knows that Portland has been an unmitigated disaster for years. I won't let that happen in America." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Coming up on 432, we go to the real-time traffic desk now with Nate Connors.
And it's brought to you by Seattle Sports. Seattle to Everett struggling this afternoon due to a couple of recent collisions. The good news, both are now clear. Bad news, you're left with a hefty backup from downtown Seattle into Linwood. Hour 5 minutes between Seattle and Everett. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. It's solid between 520 and 527. Linwood to Seattle is inched up to 35 minutes. Heavy volumes through Linwood, and then you're packed at Ravenna Boulevard to I-90. North 5 heavy at the Michigan Curve into downtown. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, plan on 25 minutes on 520, 20 minutes on I-90. It's eastbound 90 that is packed from Rainier Avenue across Mercer Island. Seattle to Bellevue is a 40-minute trip. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. Both directions of I-5 struggling between State Route 18 into Fife. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exterior. Some rain has moved into the region. We'll see showers continue for tonight, some scattered showers, and possibly some thunderstorms for tomorrow as well. Right now, 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m. It's where you live and what's happening in your city. Tune in to KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Wow, that was horrible, Joe.
I didn't have it up. That was from memory.
You feeling all right?
No, I'm not. I told you.
You did not tell me you're not feeling all right. Is it because sometimes you have trouble sleeping, and then I hear about that?
No. It's nothing like that. I'm just distracted.
Do we need to have a therapy session here? We even put this other story on hold.
I mean, I'm always open to talk.
All right. We'll get Dr. Dan to come in. Hold on. Dr. Dan, can you come on in? Dr. Dan? Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm all right, Dan.
Dr. Dan, I didn't go to school for 8 years to be called Dan.
I'm sorry, doctor.
It's all right, Joe. So what's wrong? You seem sort of down. Do you want to talk?
You know, I just feel like everybody's really on edge right now.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's the text messages that come in and just the rabid political discourse. It's just stressing me out.
Yeah. You know, Buc-ee's might be a good place to go. They've got 16 locations. They've been around for 55 years. You ever thought about maybe going to Buc-ee's?
That's a great idea. I haven't.
Okay, that might make you feel a little better. Okay. You see our time's up, so sometime next week, okay?
I'll be here.
Okay, thanks. Well said, well read, Joe. There we go. Okay. All right, so O'Keefe's Media Group, the guy that does the surreptitious videotaping and audio taping of people, and we always want to play it on the air, but we can't because he's always seems to be interviewing people either in a restaurant or in a silverware factory where they make silverware. It's so loud, you can't play any of it. Anyway, he says that O'Keefe's group records Epstein investigator claiming that Trump's covering up the files. Will we be able to understand any of this?
This one is surprisingly clear.
Okay, so here we go. And I think, didn't Snopes look at this and say none of it is true?
No.
There we go. Oh, I saw this guy. So O'Keefe, before he goes in to talk about it, he's like, I just want everybody to know this is the most difficult thing I've ever done, and I'm not suicidal. They always have to say that because somebody's going to try to kill him.
Overheard at Phoenix Airport on September 8th, 2025. A senior Justice Department investigator who personally worked on the Epstein case tells all. Glenn Prager, who has reviewed Epstein itineraries and has interviewed Epstein's victims, drops a bombshell. He says that the DOJ did not want to go after Epstein because he's a CIA asset.
Oh, my God. All right. He's a CIA or he's working for the Mossad. He's part of Israeli army. Okay, here we go.
That the evidence from his investigation confirms that Bill Clinton was present for alleged rapes on the Lolita Express and that President Trump was not present for the rapes that Glenn Prager investigated, but that he is protecting a lot of other people that were.
Okay. It seems possible. This guy, hanging out with a bunch of billionaires, trying to get them to, be found in compromising positions. And then you just, you can use the power that they have, Secret Service, like or CIA. I could see them doing that kind of thing. All right. So it goes on. Even more. Here we go.
It's not talked about yet, but it's soon come out that he was a CIA informant.
He was a CIA.
Or he was a CIA. I think he's protecting a lot of other people. He's not protecting himself because there's nothing there.
Okay, so this Glenn Prager, he's sitting down talking to some girl. Here's the way this guy O'Keefe normally does his stuff. I guess I don't know how he gets these guys to like date other people or whatever. But normally there's the guy from the government sitting there across from somebody else. They've had a couple of drinks, and the guy that's the government guy that's being spied on is like, yeah, well, I control this and that. What do you think about that? I'm very powerful. Like you should probably sleep with me, right? And then normally the guy either is a guy's like, well, I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, I'm sure I'm a really big deal. And then they talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So is this guy, Glenn Prager, sitting down across from some woman who he's putting the moves on or something like that?
I don't think they were on a date because this was at the airport.
Okay.
But he's protecting a lot of people because Trump's now saying it's a hoax. It's the case like a hoax or something. I'm like, come on, it's not a hoax. He's been on the plane now, many times. Mm-hmm. It's just he was never on the plane with the kids. I've seen the itineraries and I've interviewed all the victims. There's never been an instance where Trump was on a plane with these kids and a rape occurred. But that can't be said for Clinton, and it can't be said for others.
Okay, look at all this stuff we've got going on. No wonder you're upset, Joe. So we've got Epstein going on, right? Yeah. We've got Israel, Hamas, right? And they're trying to get a 21-point plan on that. Then you've got all the ICE stuff going on. Then you've got somebody killed Charlie Kirk, but people don't believe that it was this guy, Tyler Robinson, right? And we still have the Epstein stuff going. We've got, the shutdown happening with the government. and then you have this new one that apparently there's a guy who's threatening Speaker Mike Johnson, saying Johnson's been on Grindr, putting stuff up there, trying to engage with other men for, getting together sexually, right? So that's also out there. But even though apparently Snopes shot down one of the other ones, this guy's putting stuff up saying, no, this is all true. And basically the man that's putting this stuff out there says Speaker Mike Johnson has...
Here's a message for Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. Pay attention, bud. You have until...
By the way, let me just give a little tip to anybody out there doing TikToks. Don't laugh at your own jokes. You're not laughing at when you do that, immediately no one believes you, right? Because it's like, somebody's going to get Batman, right? And then Batman will be forced to eat this pudding. You knew about the pudding plan. Why all of a sudden is it funny to you, right? So sinister people... As soon as you fake your own laugh, you lose some credibility. I'm just saying that right now, okay?
A message for Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Pay attention, bud. You have until Wednesday to swear her in. Wednesday. Or I will release.
He wants to swear in this woman who's then going to address a bunch of the Epstein stuff.
I think they were one vote shy of getting this.
Oh, is it the one from Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the gal from Arizona that got the special election. She got appointed. Right. Okay. So apparently she's there for moral support, but she's not in there to do any of the voting.
Your Grindr profile and your IP address. I bring receipts. You're not going to sit there and actively work against democracy. It is treason. Yeah, I'm calling you out for treason. Treason? You have until Wednesday to swear her in and let democracy take its course, or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. Connects both to you, Mike. The choice is yours. Do the right thing, because I'm petty, and I'm not above this bullshit.
Okay, now we know. Okay.
Where's Batman?
That's just one more thing to add to it, right? So we got Epstein, we got Israel, Hamas. By the way, we still have Russia, Ukraine. We got that going on. And then you could spend hours. Last night, I went, got a piece of pizza, came back. I sat in my apartment after I tried to play a bunch of Iris. I played Goo Goo Dolls Iris, but you have to change the tuning on the guitar. And then when you tune it, I think it's B and then everything else is D. I'm B, bringing up, all the string breaks. I'm like, oh, crap. Then I got to sit there and just look at my phone. I'm into this, who shot him and where did the gun come from? And that's the Israeli Secret Service and that's the CIA that have the exploding microphone under Charlie Kirk's shirt. Look at the shirt going up. Right? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I couldn't get to it because the E string broke.
Give up forever to touch you. I know that you feel the same way. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't want to go home right now.
Bing! String break.
All I can taste is this one.
Now I feel better.
It's a really odd tuning.
Sooner or later it's over.
Get ready.
I just don't want to miss you tonight.
Everybody, Nate.
And I don't want the world to see me, because I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's meant to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
Oh God! Wow, that was our worst.
We got to the bottom of that.
Okay, fine.
That'll teach you.
Here's Nate in traffic.
Seattle to Everett, you're down to 1 hour. Backups from 520 all the way to Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. Solid from 520 to 527 in Canyon Park. Everett to Marysville, you're at 20 minutes. The backup is already slowly thinning out, but you're still packed from about Dagmar's Landing up to 529. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. You're slow in Linwood. You're going to clear out at 212 all the way down to the U District. North 5, heavy from the Michigan Curve in the downtown. This has northbound 99 packed through the downtown tunnel. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes, and Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways, a 45-minute drive. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I like Mike Novak. I'll tell you why. The guy's a bulldog. You know, he sells houses. I looked at all the statistics and I talked to him. He says, you know what, I sell a house every single day. I was like, wow. Because I happen to be married to a real estate agent, and she hasn't sold a house in a while. And I asked, how do you do it, Mike? How do you do it? He goes, well, listen, I put my money where my mouth is. I say this, if I can't sell your house in 21 days, you don't have to pay me anything. And he's spending a lot. In fact, I look up, Mike Novak spends 70 times more than the average agent when it comes to marketing the house to make sure it gets seen and sold. The guy is putting his money where his mouth is because he knows that he can deliver on this. So if you've been waiting, you're waiting for mortgage rates to drop, well, guess what? They've dropped. And guess what? Your neighbor knows this as well. They're going to sell their house, or they're going to try to sell their house, so they're going to get an agent. And if it's not Mike Novak, there's a pretty good chance Mike Novak will sell the house down the street from yours. And guess what? You're sitting there with your house unsold. So it's such a simple decision. You want to go with Mike Novak because the guy sells more houses than anybody else. You want to get in touch with him? It's really easy. MeetTheNovaks.com. That's MeetTheNovaks.com. Spelling Novak, Novak. That's MeetTheNovaks.com.
A Chi and Ursula exclusive on KIRO News Radio.
There it is, number 60, Cal Raleigh.
A guy did catch it. He gave it to this young boy in the stands. And we are joined by that boy's father, Galen Ruelos.
He caught it. He didn't have to do it. It was a complete random act of kindness to my son. You know, he's a 12-year-old, sixth grader, and just overcome with emotion. He starts bawling.
Hear the full conversation on the KIRO News Radio app and KIRO News Radio on YouTube.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. You know what's stressful? A leaky roof, because you typically don't find out it's leaking until water makes its way through the insulation. The drywall in your ceiling starts swelling up, sags and drips. Then you're freaked out, wondering if there's mold in your house. I get it. That's why I get Valentine Roofing. Valentine has a leak stop guarantee. They'll stop the leak in your old roof for free until your brand new Valentine roof can be safely installed. Because Valentine doesn't just replace roofs, they protect homes. And they start protecting yours the moment you call. No stress, no mess, no more buckets in your living room. The wet weather is coming, so if you need to take advantage of that free roof inspection, I encourage you to call and get the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, extra mile service, and every new roof backed by a lifetime warranty. And now with zero down financing for most projects, you can get the work done now and pay over time. Stop the leaks before they start. Call 206 Roofing and get your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair. the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
The insurance world, it can be confusing. So have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
All right, Teeny's still looking for that letter of the day. I don't know what's going. People are not passing her test. Look at her back there. Look at her back there working the typewriter. Wow. Thank you, Teeny. 1-888-973-5476. Taking the temperature, orally, by the way, orally today, of the listeners. You said that generally on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being everybody is just in really like took some Molly and having a great time.
Oh, yeah, no, they're more of the one on that chart.
Okay. All right. Got it. Well, it's over. There's 163,000 Americans that are still using the old AOL dial-up. It's gone. Today's the day where they finally take the thing down.
Aww.
Oh, this reminds me of going to my mom's house. Even just like 10 years ago, she still had this. There you go. Sounds right. Ready to go. Yep. Oh, yeah.
You've got mail.
You did. So they hit their peak, AOL did, with 25 million people dial up. And then it was worth about $165 billion. And then all of a sudden, when broadband came in, they're like, hey, stick around with us. We just sit through the people. It was gone. And when Time Warner bought them, thought they could turn the whole thing around. That just ended up crushing all of it. So long to the dial-up. Remember how that used to work? Is you get home and all of a sudden you get this little, DVD in the mail.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, wow, check this out. You put that into your computer, and then they used to charge you. Get this, kids. Hope you're sitting down, or in a crouch anyway. They would charge you by the minute. Remember that? Line, you get on, and you're like, okay, there's like $4 or something, and then you forget, you leave it on, and you're like, whoa, huh? Yeah.
So it's all night to download a picture or something.
Right. There you go. So for the 163,000 homes that are still using it, it's mostly in the rural areas. That's the no more dial-up. Say goodbye. After 36 years, it is just gone. And from going to my mom's house, and she's like, I can't get the computer to work. I'm like, Mom, let me see. And I press a button. She goes, oh, don't blow the house up. Everything that she didn't understand, microwave, the iron, the computer, apparently there was a button that I was unaware of, which would, you hit it by mistake, the whole house blows up. I don't know where she got that from. I'm like, Mom, I'll turn it on. So I get underneath the computer, I'm plugging it back. She unplugged it from the phone. Well, I don't blow the house up. Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally hit blow up house.
Oh,
yeah, same thing with the microwave. I'm like, Mom, just change it to defrost. I don't want to do that. If I do that, the house is going to blow up. I'm like, we're defrosting a piece of meat. It's like, how's the house going to blow up? Here, I'll show you.
Aw. Poor Mom.
It was so ironic when the house did blow up. It was weird. It was a gas line. It wasn't anything else to me. All right, checking Nate over there in traffic. Nathan, take us somewhere, would you?
Okay, Seattle to Everett. We'll head that route. It's improved to 50 minutes after we cleared a couple of earlier collisions. Got a backup still, though, from 520 all the way into Linwood. Bellevue to Everett just hit 1 hour. It's still solid between 520 and 527. Then you're going to clear out till you hit the Alderwood interchange. South 5 heading into Seattle at 520. We've got a new disabled vehicle. It's blocking your left center lane, and this adds to our backup at Lake City Way. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour. Eastbound 90 bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue across Mercer Island due to road work. Seattle to Bellevue's at 45 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on southbound 167, also 45 minutes. You're slow in the north end between Renton and Kent, and then we're packed from State Route 18 into Puyallup. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio. On 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Has it been hot in your house this summer? Maybe worried about the cold coming in this fall and into the winter? Might be because your insulation's just not up to snuff. That was my problem, Mike Salk here, and that's why I called Crawl Pros. They came out, they did a corner-to-corner inspection of my crawl space and attic, and they fixed that problem once and for all. If your home has any damaged insulation or no insulation in the attic or crawl space, you're bleeding money every month to heat and cool your home, but you don't have to. And even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, 95%, but you got to act now. Many of these rebates are ending at the end of this year, including the federal incentives. Let Crawl Pros come out and properly insulate your home before the cooler fall weather comes in. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
If you use the carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good2Go account, you'll soon receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good2Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at good2go167.com.
It's a bully, but we aren't afraid of a fight. It's elusive, but our focus never fades. It's deadly, but we were born to defeat cancer. You may not have heard of us, but our work has helped millions impacted by cancer. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We are leaders in advancing breakthroughs in immunotherapy, genomics, and personalized medicine. This research saves lives. After 65 years of fighting blood cancers, we've arrived at a game-changing belief. The cures for cancer are in our blood. The drugs and treatments we've developed for blood cancers have helped people affected by many different types of cancers. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Beating cancer is in our blood. Learn more at LLS.org.
A men's health moment with Revive Men's Health.
1 in 3 men over 45 may have low testosterone. Revive Men's Health offers free T-checks and tailored treatment plans, so you can get back to feeling like yourself.
Learn more at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jim Singletary here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we're not afraid to tell you no. Looking for a roofing company that'll do cheap, fast work and just cover up the problem? No, that's not us. Want a quick quote without a real inspection? Nope. Just want a price without knowing your options? Not happening. Look, we don't want to tell you no, but if saying yes means cut corners, bad results, or wasted money, we won't do it. Period. And here's the deal. Seattle gets 150 rainy days a year. That's not wait and see weather, it's call RoofSmart now weather. We say no to leaky roofs, sloppy work, and bad estimates, and yes to thorough inspections, accurate quotes, and top quality work that actually lasts. So if you want an honest roofer who's not afraid to say no to bad work, call RoofSmart today at 206-4 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Amazon, or at newnordicusa.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Last-ditch Senate votes to avert a partial U.S. government shutdown at midnight failed. The Senate has voted down two continuing resolutions, one from Democrats and another from Republicans.
The bill upon reconsideration is not passed.
The GOP wants to keep the government funded at current levels. Democrats want expanded tax credits for the Affordable Care Act that are set to expire in December. Washington State Congresswoman Susan Delbene, a Democrat, tells CBS News.
If there's a shutdown, they talk about the pain they want to inflict on the American people. We're fighting to help the American people, help families, and health care is obviously critical to that.
CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
The difference between this shutdown and shutdowns prior is that the administration has said that they're not just going to furlough workers, which means that they would be paid back later. They are urging agencies to actually go ahead and lay people off entirely.
A shutdown, according to CBS's Chris Van Cleve, could impact airports.
TSA officers are not high-paid government workers, so missing a paycheck can have a profound impact. Air traffic controllers would also work without pay, and in January of 2019, air traffic control sick calls resulted in significant flight disruptions in the New York City area shortly before the shutdown ended.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tells hundreds of military officials he had summoned about directives for troops that include male-level standards for physical fitness, as well as an end to woke culture in the military.
Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department.
Authorities in Colorado are looking into the death of an author and journalist 20 years later. CBS's Matt Piper reports it comes after a family member asked that the case be reopened.
Hunter S. Thompson died by apparent suicide at his home outside Aspen in 2005. His son, who was in another room, found his body in the kitchen. But a review's been launched following a request from the writer's widow. The county sheriff says while there's no new evidence suggesting foul play, the office is committed to answering any lingering questions surrounding the case. Thompson pioneered gonzo journalism, blending real reporting while adding himself to the story.
The East Coast is feeling the impact of Hurricanes Umberto and Imelda, churning up waters in the Atlantic. CBS meteorologist David Parkinson.
The impacts of each of those storms will begin to lessen over the next several days as the storms begin to pull away, although with Imelda, the folks on Bermuda need to be on high alert.
An offshore earthquake of magnitude 6.9 has jolted a central Philippine province and collapsed walls of houses and buildings, killing close to 20 people. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Both bus drivers and healthcare workers were on the picket line today. That's coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. AAA has our update. Seattle to Everett, 15 minutes. You've got backups between the U District and Linwood. That's a solid backup there. Bellevue to Everett taking you 1 hour solid between 520 and 527 in Canyon Park. Heading into Seattle, South 5 and 520. We've still got a stall blocking that left center lane, and that adds to a bumper-to-bumper backup starting at Lake City Way. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour. More slowing there in Linwood. Eastbound 90, bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue across Mercer Island, again due to road work. Seattle to Bellevue, 40 minutes. It's half that time on eastbound 520. Coming the other way across the lake from Bellevue, 25 minutes on both 520 and I-90. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. Seattle to Federways at 35 minutes. And both directions of I-5 continue to struggle between State Route 18 and the Port of Tacoma Road. And a wind advisory just went into effect over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. AAA Washington's all-new everyday membership gives you discounts and perks in more than 900 local businesses, all for just $25 a year. Join today. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. A school bus driver strike looms in Everett. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports members of that drivers union were on the picket line this morning, upset with their employer, Durham School Services.
The Teamsters that were out here this morning told me that the vote to strike has already happened and that it was overwhelmingly in favor. Now, there's no timetable for when a strike could start and when these picketers could be on a real picket line, but they say it could be soon.
The Teamsters say they're pushing for pay and benefits comparable with other districts where Durham operates. No comment yet from the company. Also on the picket line today were nurses at Seattle Children's Hospital. This nurse tells KIRO 7 TV she lost her health benefits while on maternity leave.
I'm the one providing the care to these kids most of the time, and my kids weren't covered.
Hospital says it is committed to working with the union to reach a fair agreement. The Thurston County Sheriff's Office is facing a $4.5 million budget cut next year. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders says salaries and benefits make up the largest part of his budget, and if the cuts go through, Sheriff Sanders says he will have no choice but to cut at least 30 deputies.
Those cuts represent another deputy who can't respond to emergencies, another detective who can't handle sex offenses, the amount of manpower we have on homicide cases.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
New details about that crash that damaged the 167 bridge near Pacific. The police report says a dump truck driver had just delivered a load but did not lower the bed as he drove off. The report shows the 70-year-old driver then went under 167, slamming into the bridge above. Still no word how much repairs will cost. The driver was issued a $564 ticket. The Seattle Mariners getting a sneak peek at their potential playoff opponent today.
It's a 2-out RBI single for Spencer Torkelson, and Detroit leads 1-0.
Detroit Tigers went on to beat the Cleveland Guardians 2-1. Winner of that series comes to Seattle this Saturday for Game 1 of the American League Division Series. Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We're staying breezy in some spots with rain into the night, showers, sunshine, and also some isolated thunderstorm chances for tomorrow. Right now, 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
Oh, he's upset. All right, don't forget, we do want to hear about it. Although your text messages seem to be depressing Joe.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Normally, Joe's like that, you know, that cheap kind of inflatable thing that bounces up and down in front of like a really crappy used car lot. They're normally like they're like a yellow tube people.
Yeah, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yes, but today you're like, is someone let all the air out of you? I don't know. Dragging me down. Okay. So I'll try to keep it positive. New sales tax on services in Washington takes effect on Wednesday. We'll go through all your tax increases tomorrow. Get ready, everybody. Don't forget, the cost of government goes up. You keep asking yourself, boy, am I getting twice as much service? Let's see. Trying some positive. I don't want to give up on you, Joe. I don't care. Just the way they're all deflated like a wacky inflatable tube man.
I'll be here.
Okay, here's a kooky story. This is so a black-led group responding to the mayor's claim they darkened his skin. So Katie Wilson running against Bruce Harrell, and there's a photo there of Katie, and then there's a picture of Bruce Harrell. And when you look at the two of them, apparently, the Bruce Harrell's campaign people are like, yeah, you made him darker, darkened his photo in social media, blaming her for another chapter. Oh my God!
I think he
Quote,
brought it up.
Another chapter in the troubling history of manipulating skin color to dehumanize candidates of color, like himself. Yeah, he says that we're asking the Wilson campaign and Common Power to immediately retract the manipulated image and apologize for the clear intent to darken Bruce's skin tone. There's no excuse to alter the tone of a candidate's skin, especially given the troubled history of racist intent behind these types of manipulations. Yeah, okay, really? And then Katie Wilson is like jumping on the KKK bandwagon or something. Besides, he's not brown.
No.
He's like orange. If anything, they made him look like they gave him Trump skin.
Now that's racist. Boom.
Right? Doesn't he look more orange?
Yeah, it's like they turned up the saturation a little bit, or it was just a, bad filter.
And the other weird thing is, so they're accusing, the Bruce Harrell's campaign people are accusing a quote-unquote black-led group.
Well, so a black-led group is who actually put the image up. Her campaign had nothing to do with it.
Yes. All right. So I found an interesting study that was done at University of Chicago when it comes to how people perceive the color of the candidate. And this is pretty remarkable. So this is University of Chicago. They explained how they does this set up the whole thing, or do I need to set it up at all?
That sets it up.
All right, here we go. Watch this.
So we sort of isolated the head and the hands of Obama and altered the skin tone to make it relatively lighter in tone or relatively darker in tone.
Then they showed the altered and unaltered photos, one
So this is back in 2008, okay?
at a time, to about 200 university students.
And essentially we asked them to rate sort of how well each of these photos represents who Obama really is.
The students were also asked about their political beliefs and whether they saw themselves as liberals or conservatives. Here's what the researchers found.
Participants whose partisanship matched that of the candidate they were evaluating, so say liberals evaluating Barack Obama in this case, consistently rated the lightened photographs as more representative of who he really was than the darkened photographs.
People who disagreed with the candidate and held conservative views did the opposite.
That is, they rated the darkened photographs as more representative of who he really was compared to the lightened photographs.
Yeah, there you go. So in this case, I don't think we've heard any Katie Wilson's people saying, we didn't manipulate it in order to throw anybody off. And again, you're using Katie Wilson and being racist? My God. I give Katie Wilson's people some credit. There's a really fun video. You have to humanize the candidate, right? Because the person has to be able to relate to the other person. That's always the big part of it. That person seems to know me. I like that person. They always do the beer test, right? Who would you rather have a beer with? So they did a really fun thing where they took Katie to I guess it's like a Salvation Army or, Goodwill, like a Goodwill.
You want to hear it?
Yeah. Do you have it?
Yeah.
It's a good job on this one.
I'm Katie Wilson, and I'm running for Seattle mayor. A lot of people have been calling me the Zohran Mamdani of Seattle. As we all know, Zohran is charismatic, telegenic, and stylish. I, on the other hand, am deeply awkward, not going to win any beauty pageants, and honestly, I spent my whole adult life looking really dumpy. Is that too much? But now I'm running for mayor. So I have to make an effort. So we're here at Goodwill. I bought a lot of clothes here over the years, and we have a lot of high stakes debates coming up. So I need to find some clothing that looks mayoral enough to debate Bruce Harrell.
You need to get you stylish pants for your debate.
Let's be honest, I don't know anything about fashion. What is it? Is it even a shirt? I have a friend here to help me, Andrew Ashiofu, Capitol Hill resident, community activist, and I think he knows a lot more than I do about what a mayor should look like.
Yes, I just want you to trust.
Okay, I trust you. I feel confident about my policies, but I do not feel confident about my wardrobe. What do I do with this? Is this supposed to be this short? I just feel like it's so short.
You can't see it, but I didn't realize how annoying the music was, but watching it. But there's an example of humanizing the candidate, right? should they even leave the outtake in there? And still, a clothes she picked out are not so great. But the guy did the best he possibly could.
She says, I'm not going to win any beauty pageant.
Yeah, and, at least she's not trying to put on airs at all.
Right.
I don't, the big question is, how well could she control all the various fractions of the city, right? The unions, the activists, the conservatives, the business folks. There's a bunch of moving parts to running a big city. Does she have the ability to do that? She's had a small budget. She ran I think the budget was about $200,000 that she was part of. So she doesn't have that experience, but you'd have to have a really strong team behind you because you're going to be getting hit from a whole bunch of different angles. But again, the reason I supported Katie Wilson, because I would like to see socialism tried. She seems to believe that you can tax the rich, give it to the poor, and the rich will keep allowing themselves to be taxed, and then all of a sudden this utopia will exist in front of us, when the definition of utopia is a fantasy place that doesn't exist. But she believes that, we'll just tax big corporations, they'll stay, they'll pay, and then everybody's life will be better and things will be more equitable. So I would love to see that happen. I don't think it will, but that's why I said vote for Katie Wilson just as a little experiment. Now, for those of you in Seattle, well, too bad for you.
Don't you get to vote here now that you have an apartment?
No, I'm not registered here. Should have tasked. So, you drop stuff on the ground.
That was a perfect pass.
Get up.
A perfect pass.
All right, man. Okay. All right, so there's a little bit of back and forth and the mudslinging going on in the fascinating mayoral race. By the way, when is the next debate? We're supposed to have like 30 of them or something like that.
The next big one is on October 8th.
They're having more of these things than the Hallmark Christmas movies. It keeps coming. In fact, I think that's going to be their next debate. Yeah. They're both going to be in a Hallmark movie. Let's see. The last bit of news is the fact that officials are warning people, saying, hey, look at social media. When it comes to fires in Cle Elum, you're getting a lot of hooey.
2 weeks ago, the fire was here. So the wind events have pushed it here and to the north. This is the Ingalls Creek drainage.
Nancy Jones is speaking to me on behalf of the first responders. I showed her this video of the burn that's been making the rounds online in Seattle. One Instagram account claiming brush fires along I-90 forced evacuations outside of Cle Elum.
That's old. Those are from like 3 weeks ago.
You showed it to me yesterday. You're like, oh no, this is pretty bad.
I was testing you.
That is inaccurate. There is no fire adjacent to I-90.
Now that we've got the story straight, I wanted to know what's ahead.
This fire will not be out until the winter snows come.
For that reason, they're hesitant to reopen Blewett, even if that means inconveniencing others.
I would say to folks, if they're planning on going to Leavenworth for the Autumn Festival this weekend, plan on using either Stevens Pass, Highway 2, or planning on going I-90 all the way over past Vantage and around up through Quincy and in that direction.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So people are showing this stuff online and then like, oh my God, the highway's on fire.
They keep saying it's being evacuated. Cle Elum's being evacuated.
Yeah. My friend Joe Bunder wrote, hey, is everybody okay? I'm like, not really, but it has nothing to do with the fire. By the way, speaking of fires, my friend Ryan, who we talked to on the air one day, who is a helicopter pilot, he flies the big Hueys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he flew into Seattle yesterday or today, and he drove, hung out of the barn with Nick and then off to Ellensburg. And that's where his Huey is. And he's going to be flying, I guess, fighting the fires that are around. So,
oh, good.
If you want to talk to him.
Sure,
why not? Hey, I know somebody that flies a helicopter.
Is this the same one that landed in your yard?
No.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Yeah. There's a great story behind that, but I don't have time to go into it. Let's see. The last bit of news is the fact that now the news has made news of the different people that feel they need to save democracy by going up and screaming at somebody that's trying to gather signatures, which is part of democracy. So this is a perfect example. I talked about at the beginning of the show, my little monologue, was that if you believe that you are morally superior to somebody else, and everybody does believe they're morally superior to somebody else, and then you also believe that you're fighting for what is right and good, therefore you're motivated by love, and the person on the other side of this issue cannot be possibly motivated by love. They've got to be motivated by hate, because this is just how we line up. So if you're somebody that sees the people that are gathering these initiative signatures. You see them as hate. You see yourself as morally superior. Therefore, you're going to vanquish them. Right will trump wrong, and love will conquer all. So you're coming at these people while they've got their little table there and they've got their papers, and you're coming in there like Michael the Archangel just to blast away at everybody because, again, you think you're right. You think you're morally superior. You think you're coming with love. And here's King 5 explaining.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Video shows a woman in handcuffs after an officer saw her ripping up initiative petitions from a signature gatherer's table. This went down Thursday night outside of Fred Meyer in Tacoma, where it's normal to see people gathering voter signatures in hopes of putting an issue on the ballot. This time, the initiative, sponsored by conservative group Let's Go Washington, focused on parental rights and the participation of trans athletes.
By the way, I have a little problem with this. By the conservative group Let's Go Washington, would, if it was anything else other than conservative, would they say the liberal group? No. They wouldn't. I don't know why they have to do that, but they always do. The right or hard right or conservative. They wouldn't say liberal. They always have to identify. Why? Because it's a like a little ching. It sets off a little bing in people's heads. Okay, here we go.
Focused on parental rights and the participation of trans athletes in sports.
I guess is sort of a shocking and a little bit of a scary thing that they feel entitled to come up to physically accost, to destroy property, that whatever their ideas are, no matter how much they disagree with what we might be doing.
Founder Brian Haywood says their signature gatherers continue to be harassed.
There's been about 10 or 15 like really violent events.
This woman, Roxy Starler, was charged with property destruction in Tacoma Municipal Court. The Washington State Attorney General's office told me they do not have jurisdiction over criminal cases like this, adding, quote, Washingtonians have the right to advocate for the positions they care about, and we use all available tools to protect that right, such as litigation, to protect our state's elections.
They're taking the voice away from people that...
Whoa there, Susie or whatever. Hold on a second. Wait, these people can't be charged?
Yes. Adding, quote, Washingtonians have the right to advocate for the positions Tacoma Municipal Court.
Okay.
The Washington State Attorney General's office told me they do not have jurisdiction over criminal cases like this, adding, quote, Washingtonians have the right to advocate for the positions they care about, and we use all available tools to protect that right, such as litigation, to protect our state's elections.
They're taking the voice away from people that cared and took time to listen and sign their name to something.
I also reached out to Governor Bob Ferguson's office, which sent me this statement. There is no place for political violence in our democracy.
Apparently there is. Because, again, I hate this sort of, whataboutisms, but let's just flip it around just for a moment, just for conversation's sake. Let's say it was, quote unquote, although they wouldn't say it, a liberal group that was trying to do something. Let's say it was abortion stuff. There's the one. That's easy. They want to be able to advocate for some sort of abortion thing, even though it's in the Constitution, state of Washington. But this is my hypothetical. So they've got that thing set up for women's rights or women's health care, however they want to describe it, right? And you'd get somebody from some church to come up there and start screaming and yelling. Immediately. I mean, the news would have that thing. It would lead. It would be the day of. It would be nothing but. Right? And then you would have the mayor and you have the governor and everything jumping on top of this thing because, we believe in women's health care and we believe in the women's right to choose. They don't use those terms anymore. But women's health care, it's essential. And they would be all over this. But in this case, you could kind of, it's, everybody gets a chance to have their say. I mean, again, it's just one of these things. It's the built-in bias. We all have it. We all have the bias. We all have it. Our, compasses never point true north. Everybody has a confirmation bias. Everybody has a particular bias that how they view the world. And you have to kind of catch it and check it, right? Best analogy would be like you're in a cart, All right, you're the driver of the cart, and the person pulling the cart, not it's even a person, it's an elephant. It's gigantic, it's strong, it'll go wherever it wants to go. So you're constantly negotiating with this elephant to make it go right or go left. And if it chooses to go right or goes left, and you can't control it, then what you do is you make excuses for it. Well, they probably deserved it or whatever. But you have to try to control that elephant. You have to rise above the elephant. The id, right? The id, the ego, and the super ego. There's one person in the back seat telling you which way to go, but you have to take control and say, well, listen, I understand that's my bias voice. That's the bias. That's that you check that first, and then you get the facts, real facts, and then you are able to negotiate with the individual. But you've got to realize you're coming into that thing not calling balls and strikes because you're basically blind to what somebody else's, what somebody else's position might be, because your bias just, it's through your entire body, and you have to catch it and stop it. And it's in the news, how the news covers stuff. It's all over the place. It's got Joe all down. Look at Joe, all sad. Wah, wah.
Now everybody's writing me get well soon.
In Springfield,
this will cheer you up.
Oh yes,
they're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Yes, cheers, Joe.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cats. Why would you do that?
Get ready, Nate.
Else.
Get ready, Nate.
I'm ready.
All right.
There you go.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my dog. Here's a catalog of other things to eat. They're eating the dogs. Whoa, 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 whoa. They're eating the cats. Meow, 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 meow. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Nice. Feel a little better, Joe?
Thank you, I do.
Here comes Nate with traffic. Nathan.
North 405 in Renton approaching State Route 167. A collision blocks the far right exit lane. You're backed up to I-5, South Center to Bellevue, pushing 35 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, we've jumped to an hour, 10 minutes. You're jam-packed now between 520 and 527. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Your backups are from the U District into Linwood. Heading into Seattle South 5 at 520. That disabled vehicle has been cleared to your left shoulder. You're backed up to 85th. Linwood to Seattle, about a half hour. You've got to back up through Linwood to get through as well. North 5 packed at the Michigan curve in the downtown. Northbound 99 jam-packed through that downtown tunnel. Eastbound 90, a reminder, we've got road work on Mercer Island, so you're bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue across the island. Seattle to Bellevue will take you 45 minutes. And both directions of I-5 remain jam-packed between State Route 18 and the Port of Tacoma Road. Tacoma to Federal Way and vice versa is about a 25-minute trip. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
A Chi and Ursula exclusive on KIRO News Radio.
There it is, number 60, Cal Raleigh.
A guy did catch it. He gave it to this young boy in the stands. And we are joined by that boy's father, Galen Ruelos.
He caught it. He didn't have to do it. It was a complete random act of kindness to my son. He's a 12-year-old, 6th grader, and just overcome with emotion. He starts bawling.
Hear the full conversation on the KIRO News Radio app and KIRO News Radio on YouTube.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort.
Schedule an appointment today. Visit BryantNorthwest.com for a dealer near you. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
With a procedure as new as stem cell therapy, it's natural to wonder, okay, if it worked on my shoulder, maybe it'll work on my knee too.
The first one I had done was the rotator cuff.
And for Leslie, who's been a patient of Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, the answer is absolutely.
Going up and down stairs was like, oh, I can't do this. So I went to see Dr. Wagner. He said, well, you have a torn meniscus. He says, I think the best way to fix this is stem cells. So I said, of course, because it worked on my shoulder so well. I thought, well, let's do my knee. Within a day, I was pain-free and walking again. I feel like my body is regenerating itself through my own stem cells.
Which is why it's called Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, because surgery is not involved.
Everybody down at Dr. Wagner's office couldn't have been nicer.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, or a shoulder and a hip and a knee, before choosing surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
If you plan to use the carpool lanes along SR 167, you'll soon need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. A federal government shutdown now appears inevitable after the U.S. Senate failed to pass a spending plan. Both sides are blaming each other. Washington Congresswoman Susan Del Bene says Democrats are pushing for Obamacare subsidies.
We're fighting to help the American people, help families, and health care is obviously critical to that.
President Trump says a shutdown could lead to permanent cuts to the federal workforce.
Well, the Democrats want to shut it down, and so when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs. So we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected.
Shutdown will begin at midnight Eastern. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declares an end to political correctness in the armed forces, telling a crowd of generals and admirals,
"We must restore a ruthless, dispassionate, and common sense application of standards."
More from CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
He mentioned 10 directives. It has to do with combat readiness. He was big on fitness. He said no more
Fatty's his words, even in the Pentagon, up to the general level, there will be a fitness test, and that is a gender-neutral fitness test.
President Trump also addressed the crowd, suggesting they use American cities as training grounds for the military. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports from Portland, where National Guard members are set to arrive later this week to protect an ICE facility.
A relatively quiet morning and day here in Southwest Portland. Only the occasional shouting match between ICE and Homeland Security officers and protesters who have camped out here for weeks now. But now with 200 National Guard troops on the way to this facility, protesters like Emil say they're not deterred.
I used to be in the military. I'm not scared at all.
Those troops are scheduled to be here by Thursday. No word if they will be armed. In Portland, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Federal Trade Commission is suing Seattle-based Zillow and Redfin, accusing them of conspiring to kill competition in rental listings. Zillow allegedly paid Redfin $100 million to stop selling certain ads and redirect customers. Seattle Times reports both companies deny wrongdoing. FTC wants that deal dismantled. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's start you down in Renton. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Northbound 405 approaching State Route 167. We've got this collision. It's blocking the far right exit lane, and you're backed up onto I-5. South Center to Bellevue still taking right around a half hour, and you've got more slowing beyond this up to the Renton Landing. Bellevue to South Center also a half hour. It's solid from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Everett, hour 5 minutes. You're jam-packed between 520 and 527, and you're just not moving through parts of Kirkland right now. Seattle to Everett is at 50 minutes. You've got backups from Lake City Way through Linwood. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. You're slow in Linwood, and again from Lake City Way in the downtown. North 5 is bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve in the downtown, and drivers are heading over to 99 to avoid this backup, but you're packed through the downtown tunnel as well. Eastbound 90 is bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue across Mercer Island due to road work on the island. Seattle to Bellevue, 45 minutes. Again, eastbound 520 is wide open. You will have to pay the toll, though. And Renton to Puyallup has improved to a 40-minute commute. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We'll have some breezy conditions tonight along with rain off and on. Tomorrow, breezy at times, some isolated thunderstorm chances, and also some scattered showers. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go. Time again, kids, to gather around the radio set because we're going to spin the wheel. Teeny, you spin the wheel from there? Yes, you can. It's Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe wheel. There it goes around. Names of all the players are on the board. And they spin in all the different colored lights. Red, green, blue, yellow, blue, red, yellow as the names pop up, and so do the colors. And it lands, on me. Wow. All right. I'll take some hard-boiled eggs, put it in boiling water, add a little bit of vinegar. And then when they cool, because I put vinegar in there, the entire shell comes off easily when you go to remove the egg, and then I just cool it under some water, and then I eat it just right out of the pot. A little bit of salt. Although I've given up on salt because we don't have any salt here. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have.
There's a lot of sugar packets. Oh. No salt. Nothing.
I don't believe this.
I know. I don't believe it either, Teeny. Well, there's your egg recipe. That's in the leather-bound book that comes to your house on a daily basis now. Wow. Whew. All right. Let's see. One little bit of news. You remember that YouTube had to pay. They said we didn't do anything wrong. Remember they took Trump off YouTube. They were found guilty of that. They said, okay, we'll write a check. So they had $22 million, but they had to write the check. The money then goes towards the construction of the ballroom that Trump wants to build there. So it goes to National Mall construction of the White House State Ballroom at Trump's behest. $2.5 million of it will go to the supporters of his from American Conservative Union that author Naomi Wolf runs. So a little bit of money there, a little bit there. Total amount they paid was 24 point what?
I said Nate would like receipts, please.
I know, he asked for the receipt. Mm-hmm. Okay, Joe thinks this is all garbage as well. But there is an AI actress who they've created to be, you can't quite tell her nationality, right? She looks Hispanic, but American, English, but like European, and she's got a beautiful voice, and her name is Tilly Norwood, and she's completely AI.
Tilly Norwood, 100% AI generated by some company called Particle 6.
Hollywood is speaking out against an AI actress whose creator says may be signing with a talent agency. Tilly has an Instagram account with more than 30,000 followers that shares content as though she were an actual person, from coffee shop selfies to even spoofing Sydney Sweeney's polarizing American Eagle ad.
Was it really polarizing? Really? What percentage of it polarizing? I saw an interview in the Wall Street Journal of the CEO from American, was the name of the, I can't
American
remember.
Eagle?
Yeah. And he said, no, you got to just, you don't let fear stop you. He stayed with it the whole way, completely committed to it, never apologized for it. And they're reaping the benefits because of it.
I think that was a marketing stunt, too.
Wow, you are so cynical.
I'm built on everything that came before me. My genes are binary.
The creation also appeared alongside other AI characters in a video by Particle 6 Productions that touted Tilly's ability to convey genuine emotion and drew its own controversy for eyebrow-raising lines like this.
She'll do anything I say. I'm already in love.
Of course, Whoopi Goldberg reacts to it.
Problem with this, in my opinion, humble opinion, is that you are suddenly up against something that's been generated with 5,000 other actors. It's been given all of these, you know, it's got Betty Davis's attitude, it's got this one's, it's got Humphrey Bogart's
Whoopi's humor.
It's got my humor. No. Thank you, darling.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit of an unfair advantage, but you know what? Bring it on.
Yeah.
Because you can always tell them from us.
Yeah.
We move differently, our faces move differently, our bodies move differently, and maybe in 2 or 3 years it'll be seamless, but it's not seamless yet.
Yeah, well, it's going to be seamless. So Joe thinks, first of all, the reason they're saying, oh, she's going to sign with an agency. No, they're doing this in order to, she only has 30,000 followers.
Yeah.
But as stories like this break, more people are going to get on. But the problem is, what are you following? It's not a real person.
No.
You know you're being manipulated. None of it is real. But Tilly Norwood, her ability to act, and this you're not going to stop this Luddite. You're not going to be able to smash these stocking machines. It's coming, and it's coming faster than people can possibly adjust to. And someone like Tilly Norwood and other actresses will be able to be manipulated and created on screen. They'll know their lines. You won't have to pay them a whole bunch of money. And, you know, if you don't want to pay that person whatever it is that they're just creating something, like somebody else will come along and create it for less money. So that's just it. And as far as like it's not fair because they're borrowing this and borrowing that, what's about fair? Where's fairness come into any of it? Right?
So the ChatGPT, the company that owns ChatGPT, OpenAI, just announced today their new video creation service that's launching. You have to have an invite now, but it should be launching in the next probably couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That is truly indistinguishable from reality. And what actors will be able to do is just sign their likeness away, basically. So you can, you'll sign a contract and have to do literally nothing, but they'll use your face and they can just have you do anything.
You don't have to show up and do anything you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. A friend of mine, this is probably about 20 years ago. I knew this guy in New York. I was living in New York, so about 30-some years ago. He left. He was an actor, and he said, I'm going to get out of this. I want something more regular. So he went to, what part of California did they shoot all those porn movies in? I forget that. There's like a city that's famous for
Van Nuys.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Wow. Good. Wow. A little faster than I expected, but okay, Nate. Van Nuys. Yeah, Van Nuys, right. That's like porn shooting capital of the world, right? So I remember he left. We're like, wow, because this is a weird thing when you're living in New York. Don't leave. Like if one person left, oh, did you hear that Rob left? Like, oh my God, where's he going to go? And then everybody, I'm quitting too, right? So he left to go down there, and because he thought, well, I'll get regular work. And I said, how is it? Because I ran into him a couple of years later. What's it like? He goes, it's just really weird. I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. Nobody knows my name. I said, well, how do you not know your name? I don't know. It's just like, I go, what do you mean they don't know your name? He goes, it's just like in this business, it's just a weird, like there's this, okay, if you're a performer, you're a producer, you're in this level, but then everybody else is just so expendable. I said, well, then what do they call you? He goes, they call me by my job. I was like, what's your job? Crotch light. That's his name.
Crotch light. Wow.
Okay, let that sink in. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is because I was reading a story about Van Nuys and other places that are producing this stuff. They say within about 2 years, there'll be no more work for any of those people. It'll all be computer generated.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that guy's going to crotch light
Crotch
out
light.
of business.
Sorry. Better luck next time.
I don't know. That's not fair because that was a while ago. He might have moved up. Might be involved in some other part of it. Sorry. That's right. All right, let's go to Nate, who knows where Van Nuys is, but we're no traffic out in that direction. Where is the traffic happening, Nate?
Well, that was a lucky guess, by the way, that city. There's a lot of traffic out there. We're still dealing with this collision in Renton. As a matter of fact, North 405 right before 167. It's in that far right exit lane, and you're backed up bumper to bumper onto I-5. This is now affecting eastbound 518, and you're backed up to the airport. South Center to Bellevue is going to take you a half hour. Bellevue to South Center, also a half hour. Bellevue to Everett, and we're down about an hour now. Seattle to Everett to 50 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. It's slow in Linwood, and then again from Lake City Way in the downtown. Eastbound 90 because of road work on Mercer Island is bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue across the island. Seattle to Bellevue's at 45 minutes. Crossing the lake coming the other way from Bellevue into Seattle, 25 minutes on both 520 and I-90. And Seattle to Federal Way is right around a 35-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
A Chi and Ursula exclusive on KIRO News Radio.
There it is, number 60, Cal Raleigh.
A guy did catch it. He gave it to this young boy in the stands. And we are joined by that boy's father, Galen Ruelos.
He caught it. He didn't have to do it. It was a complete random act of kindness to my son. You know, he's a 12-year-old, 6th grader, and just overcome with emotion. He starts bawling.
Hear the full conversation on the KIRO News Radio app and KIRO News Radio on YouTube.
I'm Brian Forth. I'm the founder and president at Site Crafting. We're based in Tacoma, Washington, and we're a full-service digital agency. Our clients are really important to us, but nothing happens without the team that we've built here at Site Crafting. And so it's very important to me as a business owner to provide the best benefits we can within our budget to make sure that families were taken care of and that they did not have the stress of having to deal with healthcare benefits, buying them on their own or anything else. AWB's Health Choice is the best option for me as a small business owner compared to the larger corporations. We just don't have the buying power, and Health Choice fills that for us. They allow us to offer best-in-class benefits to our employees. They're very happy being able to keep their doctor, getting labs covered, x-rays, all those pieces that could be big out-of-pocket expenses if they didn't have Health Choice.
If you're looking for a great health plan for your employees, visit ProPointServices.com. Health Choice Trust is offered through the Association of Washington Business and powered by Primera Blue Cross.
A men's health moment with Revive Men's Health. Low testosterone can impact your energy, muscle tone, focus, and mood. A free testosterone check and personalized treatment plan from Revive Men's Health can help you feel like yourself again. Learn more at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Do you know someone whose everyday actions make Washington stronger? Someone whose care, service, and connection lift us all. They're Washington's community champions, and WSECU wants to celebrate them this fall. Steve Rabel here. WSECU has been serving Washington since 1957, and they're the only credit union named Forbes' Best Credit Union 5 years running. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your Washington Community Champion today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, we've got a new administration. What have we seen as a result at the IRS?
Well, the result that I think everyone has seen is, unfortunately, reduction in staff.
And yet people think that because of those reductions, they're in a better spot.
Well, it's not necessarily the case because the IRS is still going to work with the staff that they have. And, in fact, their collection activity is going up.
But now is also the best time to get something done that could be favorable to the taxpayer who owes.
It's very interesting. I've had 2 cases now where that I was able to get settled with the IRS fairly quickly and with some excellent results. I think they're just trying to get any case where there's a real live person working on it through the system quicker. They're needing to handle a lot more cases. The caseload isn't going to slow down.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it, and on other toll roads in Washington.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Thank you, Pendergast Law. Thank you, Sean. Teeny, I believe, has got the letter of the day. First, Johansson to me, and then we got time. Oh, yeah, Hudson. We gave him. There he is. As you can see.
On the mailman, it'll be mess with
Don't mess with him.
On the mailman. Everything new on the mailman. Bring the mail to you.
Oh, if I could hit this, this would really cheer you up. This would really cheer you up. Oh, so close. We'll get the letter today. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Tom in Edmond says, "Hey, John, give up on Iris. Try Slide instead. It's much easier to play, and the women always melt when you play it."
That picking's not going to be easy.
Could you whisper in my ear?
Okay. It's a short song. I should probably get the chords down. RC in Edmonds. Hey, RC. Thanks for coming all the way out to the barn again. Appreciate that. Appreciate the gift. I love Philly Guy. Yeah. Sure, he was here earlier. Nice.
Been a long time. Ben from Mercer Island says, "Hey, John, what is the tuning for Iris anyway? DAD, GAD? Sorry you popped your G string."
No, I think it's a B, and then it's either B and then everything else is a D. I think that's what it is. Or it's a D and everything else is a B. Anyway, you look it up, Ben. It's really hard to get the strings to work. 206, love Dr. Dan, hilarious, funny, more Dr. Dan. Dr. Dan Gottlieb from Philadelphia. I think he's still on the air. Yeah, he's still out there.
Two rare guests stopped by today. How about that? 206 says, "John, incredible mashup of Jeff Spicoli and Steve Irwin accents."
The hard part for a Philly guy is the fact that normally Philly guy ends every sentence with "and S." He has to kind of catch that. Cheer up, Joe. Adam and Bonnie Lake says that.
Fernando in Seattle says, "Doesn't John have an edible on him that he can share with you?"
Not one that I haven't eaten. 206. Hi, John. Your George Takei is still the best. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Roger in University Place says, "Did you hear that Cardi B has a twin sister that works as a personal trainer?" Yeah, her name is Cardio.
That's good. Aaron didn't get that to us.
No.
Carl in Wilkinson says, "Joe, you need to watch the Rocky Horror Show at least once."
Fair.
Okay.
Doug in Mount Vernon says, "The 1918 Philadelphia parade would have had fewer Spanish flu deaths if they had followed Boston's lead and socially distanced the crowd."
That's right. Lomax in Seattle says, "Nate, lucky guess, Connors, you rock." Yeah.
That's right.
NAs. Yes, good for you.
425 says, "Crotch light is my new favorite line of all time. Bet they didn't have those at the bicentennial."
I actually tried to track him down. 206 Mount Vernon, Doug at Mount Vernon says, does Crotchlight have more Instagram followers than Millie?
Clinton Oak Harbor says, hey, John, a bit off topic, but since Charlie Kirk's death, I've been on a quest to learn more about subjects he spoke of. Which Milton Friedman book would you recommend?
Choices, Freedom and Choices. That his best one. That's the one. And by the way, if you don't want to read the book, although I recommend you do read the book, just watch. He did 2 straight days on the Phil Donahue show.
Oh, yeah.
And PBS gave him 5 days of Milton Friedman traveling the world. There's just lots of great stuff on there with Milton Friedman. Still, I was a little high while I was in Santa Rosa the other day. Am I allowed to say that?
Sure.
High on life.
Yeah.
And I walked by a tattoo artist, and I was like, do I go in there and get my Milton Friedman tattoo? Do I?
Do it when you're sober. Don't make those decisions.
Fine.
Okay.
Boy, Nick would be so mad. Stephanie in Renton says, so if an actor were AI generated, will we get the blooper reels? I personally will miss those.
Unlikely. On the most pleasant sounding names, Elliot in Seattle says, well, that explains the John, Jake, Joe, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Schmidt hires at KIRO lately.
Got to have a J in your name. Cameron at 206. The John Curley Show is like a Catholic Mass. 10 minutes of substance, 30 minutes of fluff. Hey, huh?
Tina in the 425. I was looking in the mirror brushing my teeth with my Sonicare when I heard John pronounce Fennis. I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Oh, there were so many other letters. Wow, look at all those. All right, too much fluff, apparently. We're going over here to be read later.
Dina in Kent says, I'm sorry to hear that Joe is feeling down today. Whenever I'm in a bad mood, I just picture my favorite things. Bessie the beer cow, John's naturally growing hair, teeny tiny in her pickle jar, and of course, Sherry's unusually large hands.
Yes, all of that right there. Does that help? You feeling better? There you go.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Didn't write no
By the way, you
more.
YouTubers, we're working on getting you guys to be able to communicate with one another again. We talked to Brian about that, so we're so close to getting that back.
Stop with the death threats, okay?
Okay. Here's Nate over there checking traffic for you. Nathan.
Thanks, John. We just cleared our crash North 405 at the Valley Freeway in Renton. You're backed up to I-5, South Center to Bellevue. Will take you a half hour. Bellevue to Renton, also a half hour. You're barely moving through Bellevue down to Cold Creek Parkway. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour with a backup between 520 and 527. And you're not moving at all through parts of Kirkland right now. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Still slow from the U District through Linwood. Eastbound 90, bumper to bumper from Rainier Avenue across Mercer Island due to ongoing road work on the island. Seattle to Bellevue is at 45 minutes. And both directions of I-5, you're packed between State Route 18 to 54th. It's about 25 minutes in both backups. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
If you've been thinking about going to Longevity Medical Clinic, good for you. The doctors have been doing this for 25 years, using the latest science to be able to be proactive, to see how you're aging, and to slow down the process. Yes, you can slow it down. And they're also looking for heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, because they know those are the 3 big things that normally take most of us out of the game. Now, do what Nick and I are doing. We are both now. I've been a patient since 2009. Nick has been a patient for about a month. I said, listen, if I'm going to extend my life and we're married, let's both extend our lives because, if you punch out early, I'm going to be out looking there for another woman. Not that I could ever replace you. So here's for peace in the house, both of you, husband and wife, wife and wife, whatever it is, go to Longevity Medical Clinic because then you're both holding each other accountable because the good doctors are going to give you the choices that you need to make, but you got to follow through. This is such a great idea. It's a really fun couples thing to do. You extend your life. You have more great years together. Both of you, take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living, and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, and your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
A Chi and Ursula exclusive on KIRO News Radio.
There it is, number 60, Cal Raleigh.
A guy did catch it. He gave it to this young boy in the stands. And we are joined by that boy's father, Galen Ruelos.
He caught it. He didn't have to do it. It was a complete random act of kindness to my son. You know, he's a 12-year-old, 6th grader, and just overcome with emotion. He starts bawling.
Hear the full conversation on the KIRO News Radio app and KIRO News Radio on YouTube.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/radio for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck's about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with the Novak team. Mike Novak guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If not, he sells it for free. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma's